day one in the books. What was the energy like out there today? I know you guys have been together throughout the spring, but day one of fall camp pretty special.
It was good. We enjoyed it. It was, I told our guys after practice that we want practice 15 to look like that too. It's pretty easy, that first one, especially when you had Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Yesterday, all we did was meet and stuff. So you had 3 days off. We ought to have a good practice, but we want to have that kind of tempo and attitude every single time we come out here.
Just got through talking with Connor. Where is he now in his progress? Grasp of the offense and just kind of way he commands.
Really good. He's a gym rat. He's up here all the time. We give kids stuff to go home and study. He's got the playbook he can study, and so he's. I think he's got a very, very good grasp of what we're doing.
How about that building unveiling yesterday? That video when
it's something else. It was awesome.
It's fun to watch their reaction.
Yeah, it is. I knew they'd be all fired up, but it's it's been a long time in the making, and I just want to thank all the people that contributed, to making that a reality. We got as good of facilities as anybody in the country. I mean, it's just outstanding. And then, I brag on this, but I've gone 8 years. I went 8 years at my last institution. We never practiced on a grass field ever. Practiced at our stadium every single day. So we got everything really in close proximity. Great indoor, great outdoor field, unbelievable football operations center, and 2 awesome grass practice fields. So we've got incredible facilities.
This late in the season, Coach, how do you get your players ready, for games, without getting them hurt?
What do you mean, late in the season?
This late in the offseason.
Well, one of the things, if you watch this today, I make a big point on a guy staying on their feet. Big injuries occur body to ground contact, not body to body contact. So if we take the ground out of the equation, we got a good chance of not having those big injuries. And then today we were doing a tag off type practice where we weren't wrapping and squeezing and thudding or tackling the ground. We were tagging off. I've been going to NFL practices since 1983 was my first one, and I've kind of replicated the better coaches that I've seen in the NFL, how they've done it. So we want to be fast, we want to be physical, we want to be ferocious, but we want to stay on our feet. A lot of F's in there, right? That's a joke. There's a PH in physical, but some the guys don't catch it very, very often. But we want to stay on our feet. We don't want to get a guy hurt out here. It's going to happen on occasion. This is a collision sport. This is not like other sports that are contact sports. This is a collision sport, and so we want to keep our guys as healthy as we possibly can.
Well, when you look at your off season and you've seen progress, certain areas of your football team, offensively, defensively, is there one particular group, maybe a couple of groups that you said, man, they've come a long way from off season to now?
Well, there's a lot of guys we could mention on that, but I think Coach Nagel and the offensive staff have done a tremendous job of implementing a new offensive system, doing it quickly. They've been doing it since really February. And we're fortunate. The NCAA is allowing you to do some more things with your guys football-wise, which wasn't the case just a few years ago. And I think our offense is, I like what we're doing right now. We want to be a 50-50 team, and then we'll sort it out after 3 or 4 weeks. Hey, maybe we do this a little better than we do that, and we're 60-40 one way or the other. But I've been impressed with those guys putting in this new scheme and how the guys have taken to it. And it's the same thing though on defense. It's a new system that we're running with Coach Armstrong. I gave him some things that I thought we did a really good job of last year that I wanted to still incorporate in our scheme, and he's done that.
Coach, at this point, barely day one of fall camp, but what's kind of the point of emphasis today and this first week as you guys build into the offseason, obviously gearing up for week 1?
Just reminding them on how we do things, hustling on and off the field, our ball security, how important that is, ball awareness if I'm on defense, finishing plays, incredible effort, the ABCs of playing football, and that's what you got to really emphasize your first 4, 5, 6, 7 practices to make it a habit. You're either creating crappy habits or good habits, one of the two. We want to be creating good habits and do those every single day.
If I could follow up real quick, just in terms of the messaging, you said a lot of things in terms, Cougs don't beat Cougs. I think at one point you said you want to be the hardest working team in America. How important is that messaging, kind of going along with what you just said?
Well, it's just that's the team we want to be. I mean, it still comes down to who plays harder, all right, and who blocks and who tackles better. It doesn't matter if that's offense, defense, kicking game. And I talk about the plan to win all the time, and first component of the plan to win is winning the turnover takeaway battle. When we were +1 or better last year, we were 4-0. When we were -1 or worse, we were 0-8. So it kind of came to fruition, didn't it? So we emphasized ball security and taking the ball away. And in my career as head coach, we've won over 90% of our games. We've been +1 or better. So that's something we emphasize.
Willie, sorry if you answered this one before, but what was that moment getting into move into the building yesterday and seeing the guys' reaction?
Oh, it was great. It's just, everybody's put a whole lot into that, and I came in and it was already, in the planning stages, and they'd already put shovels in the ground and all those kind of things. They're kind of happy that I kept my mouth shut and didn't, we need to change this, that, or the other thing. We'd probably be moving into it in November if I'd opened my big mouth. So I thought they did a great job with everything about it. And, it's truly an area where guys, it's performance based. I mean, that weight room is just absolutely, I think 26,000 square feet. That's pretty darn big weight room.
And how important is it to get, all three of the quarterbacks reps early when you can?
Very important. I've had games where I've had to play my third guy. It happens. So we want to make sure that all three of them know exactly what we're doing.